there's always video of these incidents. Apparently, once the video is now out, there's going to be a lot of outrage. Many people suspect now that it is far worse than anyone expected, that it was perhaps premeditated or not. The circumstances of this argument that's being pushed on people doesn't exist. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Karmelo's scumbag lawyer or minister, defense team or whatever, has launched into yet another horrible, disparaging scred against the family of the boy who is no longer with us. Absolutely crazy. Let's get into all this. A huge shout out to everyone. I promise by Friday I'm going to give everyone a reprieve on the coffee brand coffee ads. But I have a goal of 300 boxes per day. Right now, when I'm filming this, we have 250 gone, so we only have 250 left to hit today's goal. If you need a Mother's Day gift, we have our blueberry cobbler, our Colombian roast, honey sticks, yogurt covered pretzels, chocolate covered espresso beans, and inside this box is a K-cup adapter. If the person you are giving it to might not have a regular coffee pot, there's a K-cup adapter. Or if you want to just get a good value, a good box of all of our best-selling products, it's $10 off with free overnight shipping. If you want to support the channel, you don't need a gift, you just want to pick something up, I would greatly, greatly appreciate you picking it up today. If you already got yours, please come back and write a customer review. I would greatly appreciate it. Mother's Day is just a few days away. Also, hoping that you guys will pick this up to help me move these. I'll never be sending gift boxes to Amazon again. Here's a clip from Jason Whitlock that I thought was pretty interesting.
They're going to release the video of what happened to Austin Metcalf.
Can you think about that? If this video comes out and you see exactly what happened, what I suspect is going to happen, that will be the real question. The real time is going to be, will there be riots? Certainly, I believe there is a strong case for this video being very, very bad for Karmelo Anthony. If it had supported his self-defense claim, I am sure the minister and family would have asked for this to be released by now.
And I think they believe that's going to be the spark. And it's been, I said it from the outset, that my belief, this is off my journalistic instincts, that when that video is released, it's going to be so one-sided and look so bad for Karmelo Anthony and the people that supported Karmelo Anthony. And it's what they want it to be is as triggering as the George Floyd video was.
I believe that that is true. I agree with Jason Whitlock on this. I think if that video was even in the gray area where they might maybe perhaps be able to make a self-defense case, I would argue that we would have already seen these videos.
In 2020, when people saw that video particularly without any context, George Floyd and the drugs he had ingested, without all the resistance of police early on, and you just watched that final 8 minutes. It was so triggering. Out of context, it was so triggering that we had the summer of George Floyd riots, the summer of love and honor of St. George Floyd.
Right, I agree.
I believe this video is intended to trigger white people and to so repulse them that they just say, man, all these black people that have supported Karmelo Anthony.
Does anybody, I don't think that there's going to be any, I absolutely don't refute this at all. Now, I think the argument that they're holding it back to purposely trigger people, I think that's quite a claim. You don't need to hold it back to trigger people. You would have just released it right away. I think we're probably going to have to wait till a trial. which I suspect is going to be delayed multiple times before we actually see the video of this, because I believe that it is, in fact, extremely one-sided and will look very bad for Karmelo.
This media that wouldn't tell us the truth about this Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf, this media that has imposed this racist double standard. This is the line in the sand. We've elevated this Karmelo Anthony. This is in my view, from afar, and maybe I'm wrong, and I will not be bothered if I'm wrong, but this seems so simple. 17-year-old boy sitting under a tent. Someone asks you to leave. You get static from another 17-year-old. Maybe a punch should have been thrown or two.
Well, I would argue that no, you shouldn't be putting your hands on anybody over words. But I guess if you take the word should and replace it with could have been, or you could understand it, then sure.
But stabbing in the heart, this is cold-blooded murder. This is a simple case of someone overreacting to a verbal conflict. A simple case.
Poor impulse control?
I feel disrespected. Let me overreact. We've seen this play out in urban communities time and time and time again between teenage boys.
Correct.
I'm disrespected. I shoot and kill you. I'm disrespected. We beat you into a pulp and you die. This is what goes on. The only thing different here is it's in the suburbs in Frisco, Texas, and it's a black boy doing what young black boys have been doing to other young black boys for years.
I live in the suburbs. I'm not plugged into the black community. I can't really offer any good takes on how you fix this. Probably start with keeping the father in the home. Probably the first step. But inside of this community, they have a huge problem with this. And it isn't to say that white folks don't do this to other white folks and whatever, but the percentages are crazy.
And when the video gets released, people will be like, I want no parts of that behavior. I want no parts of people that have tried to defend that behavior. I want no parts of the people that concocted, fabricated narratives around what happened here.
Yeah, you're going to end up with a situation where these parents, or the mainstream media, I believe, is going to completely forget about this case once that video's out. The mainstream media is going to completely abandon this story because it's just going to be as bad as anyone expected, as bad as I expected it to be, as one-sided as many people expected it to be. That's what we're going to see. Meanwhile, we have this moron loser, Dominique Alexander, going out and speaking on, poking his head back up and speaking on Austin Metcalf's dad, pretending to be the victim again.
Let me say this. The Anthony family didn't even know that Austin's dad was even in the facility.
So?
They didn't know that Austin's dad was here until he was actually removed by DPD. One of our security people asked him to move back. He looked back at him like he was entitled, or like.
How do you know that?
He didn't.
Well, did you stab him?
Have to move, whatever it may be. We didn't even know who he was at this time. We just asked him to step back. Then one of the members of the media told us that, hey, that's the dad. I said, the dad of who? I said, who? What? He was like, yeah, that's Austin's dad. I said, I know you lying. Like, what? He can't be here. And so.
Remember this guy, put an infant in the hospital. Just saying.
What we initiated.
This guy did.
Is making sure that we secured the facility. Let me make this very clear. The Anthony family didn't even know he was here. But how do we know what he came here for? He didn't come and asked or come to us and said. He just stood there. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if we started the press conference, and I'm not accusing him of anything. We didn't know if he was going to pull out a gun. We didn't know what we didn't know.
I mean, that honestly is a fair take. Like, that's honestly somewhat fair. You don't know what he was going to do there. That's fair.
No. But at the end of the day, will we just wait and just say, oh man, just let's start the press conference? We didn't pat anybody down coming in the facility. We didn't look at everybody. We didn't know, y'all. But these YouTubers and TikTok.
Ooh, and he's really mad about that.
And all these people started to rush to judgment.
Hi, Dominique.
I'm being
I know you're watching
insensitive.
this.
I'm being this. I have a press conference with a whole media press corps in a family.
You see here, Dominic Alexander asked Austin Metcalf's father to leave the press conference because he didn't know what would happen if he would pull out a weapon. What type of person would just pull out a weapon and attack somebody? Picture of Karmelo. Let me get this straight. He kicked out the victim's father from a press conference about justice because he might do something. The irony is nuclear. Preaching justice while profiling a grieving dad like he's a threat. You can't make this up. Of course, you have, Carmelo Anthony's fixer launches fresh attack on victim's grieving father after his astonishing move. I mean, this guy is not doing the Anthony family any good. He was probably there filming it. That's probably why the camera was sitting out of his pocket like that. You could have patted him down and let him stay, right? You could have done that, but you didn't. Meanwhile, Ben Shapiro put out a video which currently has roughly, I mean, the dislike plugin only kind of guesses, 6,000 dislikes to 3,000 likes, somewhat equating the Carmelo Anthony fundraiser to the fundraiser of Shiloh Hendricks. Somewhat equating the fundraiser of a criminal who took someone's life versus somebody who used a naughty word. I'm sure Ben would probably be more supportive of that little kid who got called the name if they were Jewish and that was some sort of Jewish name that they were called. The comments: once a killer, one word. One's a killer, one a word out of anger. Shush. Similarly bad. Shiloh didn't take anybody's life. Sorry, little Ben. I'd rather give my hard-earned money to Shiloh than a Middle East country. Why was this predator at a park with a camera and a child? The guy recording is an SO. He shouldn't even been at a park with children around. I mean, not a single comment agreeing with Ben. The black kid is 10, not 5. They're lying about his age. I mean, what was Ben thinking? I don't understand how anyone is coming out against us. It's like an instant L take. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please do help the channel out by picking up your Coffee Brand Coffee gift box today. We've got to sell out by Friday. We're definitely in trouble. We sent way too many to Amazon. You've all heard the story. It's $10 off, free overnight shipping. Please do pick one up today. Perfect gift for Mother's Day, your girlfriend, or just, a great sample of everything we offer at Coffee Brand Coffee. Link will be in the description. Or you can just go to Amazon and type in Coffee Brand Coffee Mother's Day box. It'll come up. We'll talk to you again real soon.